Hello, welcome back to a new video. My name is Christelle and I am very new to exercising. I used to be very fit and I used to exercise all the time before I had kids, and now I find I'm just making excuses all the time and not wanting to do any exercise. I seriously find that I make every excuse out of the book now not to go, but I know I need to go. So my sister came in town and she was visiting for the week, and every time she comes, she always goes to F45. She's been an avid F45 goer for like 2 years. 2021 she started, and I was really impressed with the commitment she was giving it, and just she would go almost every day that she was here. So this time I decided to join her, and I was a little bit intimidated because I didn't want to go thinking I'm going to be the worst one there. Everyone is going to be super fit. I'm so unfit. I'm going to do the exercise wrong. People are going to be, gawking at me, and I was creating this story in my head. And I realized that I was just making more excuses not to go. So I said, screw it. I'm going. I'm going to give it a shot. I needed to do something anyway. My sister went for one day and I asked her, is everyone super, super fit? Am I going to be like the oddball? And she said, no. I went, and there was actually 2 other ladies whose first time was there too. So that was really cool. So I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what F45 is like, and I'll give you some pros and cons and see if that's something that you'd be interested in trying. So first off, what is F45? So F45 started in Australia, and the F stands for functional training, and the 45 stands for 45 minutes, because most classes are 45 minutes, although a couple classes could be 60. So essentially what F45 is, it's high intensity interval training. So they have something called pods. So they would set up maybe 3 or 4 pods, and you would have 4 to 6 stations within each pod. And you would do the stations a number of times before moving pods. So every day is always different. Every class, if you do one class throughout the whole day, it'll be the exact same class. Every time you go to F45, you're not going to do the exact same training. It's always changing. So it makes it not boring. And it goes by fast. So before you know it, it's 45 minutes. You've burned tons of calories, you're sweating, and your muscles are shaking that you can't even put on your coat after to leave. Okay, that part might be just me, but you definitely feel it and you feel amazing after. I started with a trial. Every studio is different. They have different prices. I paid $25 for my 7-day week trial. I can go as many times as I want in those 7 days. I went 5 out of 7 days. So the first day I did a class called Miami Nights. And this was a hybrid class. It was both cardio and strength. It lasted 45 minutes. And I felt really good after. It was my first time exercising in years. I think the last time I really exercised was between my both kids. So it's been like 5 years since I've actually hit some weights and did some proper exercising. So I could have pushed myself harder than what I did. And I think I just held myself back because it was my first time hitting the gym again. But I know I could have lifted some heavier weights. Sometimes I didn't lift any weights at all. And as the week went on, I realized I can push myself harder, and I started lifting some heavier weights. But for my very first day, I did no weights or very light weights. And I still felt pretty good just even being active and being out there. On that Miami Nights class, we did pods. We did 4 stations in each pod and before moving pods. And yeah, it went by fast. Day 2, I did a class called West Hollywood. This was another hybrid class with both cardio and strength. And this one was really intense. They didn't do pods in this one. They did 27 stations that you had to run through twice. And it was a 60-minute class. And boy, did I feel it. I was sweating after this class. And this class was packed, by the way, too. There was probably 20 people. You could fit up to 27 people because there's 27 stations, but even 20, maybe there was 22 people. It was pretty crowded. I was a little bit intimidated, and but I noticed people didn't even really care. But in the end, it really kicked my butt. Finished day 2, West Hollywood. I feel like death, and I feel like puking. Day 3, I did a class called Angry Birds. Now this one's just pure strength, no cardio. And I didn't realize how much I disliked cardio until I did the strength only class. And I really loved it. I loved the burn. I felt like I could push through the whole way without stopping. And yeah, it was really, really good. I loved this class. All right, we finished day 3. We did Angry Birds today, all strength training, and I love this one. It was only 45 minutes and my muscles are so sore from yesterday. But the trainer guaranteed my muscles will feel better tomorrow because I did today's workout. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to go home and have a nice Epsom salt bath. My fourth day, I did a class called Panthers, and this one was a full body conditioning class. And the trainer I had was hardcore. She was on me. And I mean, the class wasn't very big either, so I basically almost had like one-on-one training with her. It was really, really good. And she she kicked my butt. My trainer really, really pushed me, but she was also very respectful in how she handled the conditions that I have with diastasis recti and with vertigo. So she gave me some modifications that worked really well. And she would always check on me to make sure I was okay. And she could tell when I was struggling with those exercises as well. And she would modify it some more for me. So that was really, really helpful. And I felt like she really cared. My last class I did was called Deuces. And this was your choice of either upper body or lower body, strength only, no cardio. And because I literally had my butt handed to me the class before, I did the upper body strength. And I love upper body. I don't know, I think a lot of people do, but I felt it and I really pushed myself and I can actually feel like my biceps are ripping in a good way. But I just felt amazing. I felt so strong after, and I just really felt like even just tighter everywhere. It was just such a good feeling. I just finished my 5th workout. It's called Deuces. I did 5 workouts in 7 days. So I feel pretty good. This was your choice. Deuces was your choice of upper body or lower body strength. So I did upper body since my legs are still shaking from the last class. So I do feel like I got some results for sure. I do feel a little bit stronger already just from 5 days, and I'm feeling pretty good. I definitely recommend it if you need the motivation and the extra push to definitely do a week of their classes. So I only did the 5. I missed 2 classes that were just high intensity cardio. I didn't want to go every day, and I found that if I did the cardio, I have a weak pelvic floor and I can't do any jumping or else I'll literally pee my pants. Most moms will get that. It was fine. The weather's warming up. It's spring. I can definitely start doing some cardio outside, just doing high intensity walks, that sort of thing. But I mean, you could go all 7 days if you wanted to, and you could go twice a day if you want to, which some people actually do. So now I'm going to get to the pros and cons. The biggest pro for me in going to F45 was that they would push me harder than I would push myself. I know what I'm like. I don't push myself very far. I go through the motions of doing an exercise at home. I barely break a sweat, and I stop when it hurts. Where F45, you want to keep up with the rest of the class, so you're not going to stop. You could always adjust your weights and whatever's comfortable for you, but the trainers can see if you can go further. The one trainer I had would come up to me and she goes, I need to see your muscles shake, and then I know you're in the right form and you're doing the right weight. And yeah, that made a huge difference. I would never have done that on my own. I mean, that was one of the big pros for me. I need that discipline. Another pro, the class is only 45 minutes. Gone are the days of working out for an hour and a half. 45 minutes, it goes by like that, and you feel amazing after. So that was a very big pro for me. Another pro is the classes are always changing. They're never identical. So you may get the name of a class which is the same the following week. None of the exercises are identical. They're always changing it up slightly. They'll move some things around. They'll just slightly change like a type of lunge or whatever, but it's always changing and it's never boring. Another pro, there's always a trainer right there. And there may be 2 trainers sometimes if the classes are really full. I've only had 1 trainer in all my classes. I've only had 1 class that was pretty busy, but the other ones were quite quiet. And it almost felt like I was getting one-on-one training, which was amazing for what I was paying. So that was really, really nice. I knew I was doing the forms correctly. If she'd come and tell me what to do right, it was really, really nice. Another pro, they have such good music playing when you're working out that it almost feels like you're at the club. Like I found myself dancing in between sets, and it just made it super fun and it made the time go by faster. Now, another very good pro, I guarantee you will release fat and gain muscle quickly. Now, I went 5 out of 7 days. I released 2 pounds of fat without even changing what I ate. Now, if you ate very cleanly, you committed to 4 to 5 times a week, I guarantee you're going to notice a huge difference. My sister, when she started in 2021, in 8 weeks, she released 20 pounds of fat and gained 5 pounds of muscle. That's amazing in 8 weeks. So I definitely feel like without a doubt, people would get results with that kind of commitment. Another pro is that it really is a great community. I felt like everyone was friends. They all supported each other. They're all very encouraging. Everyone high-fived each other at the end of every workout. And it felt really nice to be there. Another pro is you can just start with a trial, a 7-day trial. It cost me $25. You just commit for that week. You can go as many times as you want. And if you don't like it, you don't like it. You're not in a long-term commitment. So it's really worth it. Okay, so now on to the cons. The biggest con for me is that it's very expensive. And I say very, but I mean, I haven't worked out in a long time. I don't know what the going rate of a gym is, but it seemed pretty pricey for me. I mean, again, every studio is different. Their price structure is different. Their fees are different. Obviously, if you commit to a year, your classes are going to be the cheapest. You can do just a week pass. You can do a monthly pass. You can do like 2 times a week pass for a month. They have different price structures to how much you want to commit to go. And I mean, it's still pretty pricey, but for me, I feel like it's worth it because I wouldn't be able to get that push from home. I'd have to go somewhere, and it's almost like having a personal trainer. And I mean, the cost of actually going to F45 would be cheaper than having your own one-on-one personal trainer. And if you go on a quiet class, it's almost like you have one anyway. Another con for me is they didn't have enough class times for me. They didn't have enough options for me to go throughout a day. They're open 7 days a week, but they're limited on what times you can go. They can either do early morning, like 5:30, 6:30, 8:30 in the morning, or at night, 5, 6 p.m. And I have to get the kids to school in the morning. So that made it really, really difficult for me to go at that time. And when I did the trial, they did offer some 10:30 classes, and I took advantage of those. Those were perfect. I could get the kids ready to school, drop them off, go home, grab a light snack, towel, water, go to the gym, work out, then pick up my son after preschool. Then they took those away. So, I mean, mind you, there was only 3 of us in the class, so that makes sense why they would take it away. There's no demand for it. So I'm hoping they bring those back. You have to work around their schedule and try and make it work with what classes you have. And even on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they only had morning classes. They don't have any afternoon and evening classes. So that really sucked too. Another con is some of the classes could be very packed. So if being in a room full of 25 people working out is uncomfortable for you, you may not enjoy it. Now, mind you, you could always inquire and see what classes are the slowest and go to those ones. Or if even that's too much, then you're probably better off just working from home or just going to a gym and going on their quiet times. Probably another big con for F45 is you need to reserve your spot. You could look at it as a pro as well because then you know you're guaranteed to be in there. But if you miss that opportunity, you're put on a wait list. So you may not even get in. Now, chances are some people will cancel and you can get their spot. My sister was able to come to one of the classes. She was put on the waiting list, and yeah, she was able to get in no problem. But it's not guaranteed. So you have to reserve your spot within 48 hours of going to that class. Yeah, then you're in. But again, you need to plan that out. And what a pro about reserving your spot is too, is that you're committed. And if you don't show up, they're going to fine you some fee for not showing up because that spot could have been given to someone else that was on the wait list. So it makes you more committed. All in all, I really enjoyed F45. Like I said, it pushed me further than I would have ever done myself. And I had a lot of fun, and I actually miss it now that I haven't been going. I miss it. At first, it can be a little intimidating, especially if you haven't been to a gym in a while. But honestly, no one's even paying attention to you. They're doing their own thing, and the trainers will help correct you. And I never felt like I was put on the spot or anything. And I look at it as everyone had to start somewhere. And so I'm starting. And I decided I'm going to give it a month. And hopefully I can make the schedule work for me. I would love if they brought the 10:30 classes back, but I'm not holding my breath right now. I'll try and make it work. I want to commit 4 days a week. I'm going to do a body scan when I go back. So I want to actually take measurements of my body fat and my muscle mass from the beginning of the 4 weeks and at the end. So there you go. If you're curious about trying F45, I definitely recommend go trying it for a week. Do the trial, see if you like it, see if it's for you, see if it can make it work, and give it a shot. I mean, there's no word of a doubt. You would get results if you commit and go to it and pair it with clean eating the most you can. Even if you don't, like I didn't change what I was eating and I still dropped 2 pounds in 5 days. So thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button and the subscribe button. It would really help with the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.